Well, hello there. I'm Anthony Henderson, speaker extraordinaire. And I'd just like to remind you that being a father really and truly is a big deal. It really and truly is. I want to remind you, Papa, Granddad, Stepdad, if you are a real father and if you're a real man, if you're making a difference in someone's life, that you matter. You really and truly do. Not just a little eensy weensy teensy bit, but a whole heap, a whole lot. You matter a lot. All right. So, what I'm doing for 5 days, I'm sharing qualities and characteristics of real fathers and real men. It's just a salute from me to you. And these are the men that don't just talk the talk, but these are the men that are walking the walk. All right. And so, yesterday, I talked about how motivation is so important for a real father and a real man because you're the catalyst for your child's motivation. If you didn't see it, check it out. Because as a real father, as a real man, you have the ability to help your child excel to the best of their abilities. I know it can be challenging. I have two teenagers myself, but you are well built for this. You're anointed and appointed for a time such as this. And so don't ever take it lightly. Jimmy Valvano reminded us something. He said, my father gave me the greatest gift that anyone could ever give another person. He believed in me. So always believe in your child. Are you going to be disappointed? Yeah, I've been disappointed. Are they going to do something that you don't think is in their best interest? Probably. But again, it's life, right? But you still need to be that father figure, which leads me right into quality or characteristic number two of a real father and a real man, and that is moral compass. You see, we as fathers, it is our sacred duty to instill right from wrong in our kids. It's nobody else's job. It's nobody else's responsibilities. It's our sacred duty. It's not their moms. It's not their teachers. It's not even their coaches. Now think about that. We have some amazing educators in the world. Thank you for your service. We have some thebomb.com coaches, right? But again, it's not even their responsibility. It's our sacred duty as fathers. And we accomplish this by example. All right. We don't just tell them how to live. We have to show them and by what we do and how they watch us every single day. You see, kids, uh, they're sponges. They just soak up everything that they see. They just absorb what they're exposed to. So that when they're squeezed, it just comes on out. But the reality is that a child doesn't even have to be squeezed for it to come on out. All right. As a youth sports coach, I meet with parents all the time. I talk about their child's progress and, the plan of action, things of that nature. And it just never ceases to amaze me some of the comments. It's like, well, Coach Anthony, I have no idea where he got that from. Well, Coach Anthony, I don't know why she curses like a sailor. Well, Coach Anthony, I don't know why they smoke weed. Well, they probably smoke weed because you smoke weed. Ha ha! Yeah. And they probably got the weed from your drawer in your dresser. You see, as a real father, as a real man, we cannot expect our children to do something, to not do something, I should say, that we do. Because they say, well, if Papa does it, why can't I? If it's good enough for Papa, it's good enough for me. But Brother Anthony, you just don't understand. I was always raised and brought up, hey, don't do as I do as I say. Yeah, that was me too. I think we all are from that generation. Don't do as I do as I say. But when you do that, you're actually a hypocrite, right? But when you say, don't do as I did, now, my friend, now you become a teacher, a teacher. And that's okay because we all need to learn. Because ultimately, what a child does is, and as a father, we should always remember that one day our children will follow our examples instead of our advice. We're all guilty of it. We want to give advice. We want to give suggestions. Well, this is what I would do if it was me. It's how I would handle it. Well, just try maybe giving information. Because once individuals have information, and then they can make educated decisions on what they need to do and what's best for them. It may not necessarily be best for you, real father, real man. It may not necessarily be best for you, mama, but it might be, maybe, best for them. But we have to lead by example. Well, Brother Anthony, I hear what you're saying, but I'm kind of rough around the edge. I got some things I need to work on. That's okay. We all do. Just be the person that you want your child to be. That's all you got to do. Be that person. Because, see, if you set the example of someone worth looking up to, then you won't have to do much. You just won't. You won't have to do much at all. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you all a couple of visual examples of the power of examples instead of just advice. So here's the first one, right? You see a young lad and his father has crossed his arms. And so what does the little boy do? He crosses his arms. Now, the only difference is dad has his arms right over left, son has his left over right. But the son is doing what he sees. A child will follow your example more than your advice. Next example. This one is so adorable as well. I love how this is a father and he's taking a little stroll with one of his business partners. He doesn't even understand or realize that his son is behind him. He doesn't even know. He doesn't see him. But he has his hands behind his back. The father and his business partner do. So what does the son do? Puts his hands behind his back. The father and his business partner, they have their heads, neck kind of bent down. So what does the son do? He kind of looks down. Children will follow your examples more than your advice. Last one, all right? This is the last one. And this is so adorable. This child cannot be any older than 2 years young at the max. Probably can't even talk. All he probably does is boo-boo, pee on himself, and cry and eat. That's about it. But he's imitating. He's following the example that he sees. He sees everybody with their head down, praying. He says everybody in a state of meditation, all right, spending time with their God. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he's following the example. And that's what kids do. They follow our examples because we, as fathers, and as real men, we are the moral compass for our children. So set the standard. And I understand that in society, right and wrong is kind of crossed. And, a lot of people don't think that there is a right and a wrong, but quite the contrary. You see, right is right and wrong is wrong, no matter who's doing it or not doing it. All right. And in the book of Proverbs, it tells us to train a child in the way that they should go. So when they're older, they will not depart from that. All right. So quality characteristics of a real father and a real man is having and instilling that moral compass in your child. The difference between right and wrong. Well, guys, I hope you got something out of this. My name is Anthony Henderson, speaker extraordinaire. I am Linda D's firstborn child, reminding you that life is God's gift to you. And what you do with that life is your gift to God. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in tomorrow for part number 3. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.